Melee only Mechanicus. Impossible difficulty version. So tonight we're going to be continuing the campaign on Silver Tenebrous. And I will be properly starting the video very soon. I'm just finding the cover. I think that's it. There we go. This video now has a cover and we can start. Assuming you know it has started. This seems to be running, I think, maybe. Reload. Let's see if my thing works. So, Tech Priests, I have like no credits to spend on any of them. Should get that from there. So we get a second Tech Priest here. So let's do those two missions first and see where I can go with that. What was the mission of this? Counter transmission has flooded the tomb of Ardak with Necron data. Lectodogmus Fidix has requested the source of this transmission be located and destroyed. Okay, then we're silencing the radio. Shutting down communications. Magos, Mega. Which voice was I doing for this one? Magos! A matter most perturbatory has arisen. It concerns the tomb of Arclair. Previous interactions suggest that you feel it is not pure enough. I have risked and spent enough lives with this task, Vidix. It is much worse than that, Magos. Would not trouble you if it were not. As a fabricated General Kane once wrote, sometimes our prayers are answered, but not in the way we would prefer. Explain. Following our transmissions of the Linguistica Technicus prayer in the tomb, we have received reports of a counter-transmission. It is a crude form of binary that echoes lingua technics, but it is a foul and blasphemous tirade of heresy from the mind of the Xenos. I see. Most concerning. Something within the tomb of Arclair has awakened with sufficient autonomy to transmit its own mockery of our prayers. Our course of action is clear. Quisestus Mechanicor 521. From the mouths of the heretics emit naught but foul vapours. Cut out their tongue and be clean. Yikes, that's a nasty line. Maybe that'll upload properly this time. There we go. So the video should now have a cover on it. Whoa, my console is screaming! The probable source is a cogitator-like device deep inside the tomb. It is transmitting on a broad spectrum and in several of our own lingua technis. To ensure we can hear it. Armothians 941. Thus does the enemy seek to crush our spirit, for our souls are our most potent weapon. I have already deployed the cohort, Magos. But do we really have any idea what we are dealing with? Nothing that cannot be silenced with fire and fury. We cannot be certain that what this Necron device is. We should be wary of what we might find. Nevertheless, this font of heresy must be stemmed once deeper in the tomb immediately. Advance deeper into the tomb immediately, and execute our will. Okay then. So, what's our map look like? We've got long path there. Why don't we take the shortest route possible? Could be to preserve something inside that would perish in the air, or maybe it's some kind of memorial to the void. Arkwright was a space fleet admiral. After all, a vacuum itself is not an issue to our cohort, but when the room becomes depressurized, there could be negative effects. Hey, that was a good choice. We've now got a better repair tool. I like it when things like that happen. Yep, let's go it that way. I'm just going to take the well, I wouldn't call it long route. It's the kind of... The aliens' corruption is made manifest. Exercise it now, Magos. Even though it may require sacrifices. One of the cohort's personnel is suffering from the Necron transmission. The routines of their cranial implants have been overwritten by the stream of Xenos data. Yikes. Let's reboot it. It might hurt, but still. Hey, the Skitari gets injured. Of course they do. Now we've got plenty of Necrons to go right through. Well, they were going to detect us eventually. So the new Imperial Agents Codex has dropped today, or went on pre-order on the day that I'm recording this. And hilariously, the entire codex leaked before it even hit the shell, before the pre-orders even opened. Hey, Tesla weaponry. Oh no, Tesla weaponry. At least we can sort of see the guy. Greetings, new viewer. So, they do not show signs of Promethean flame attack, which only shows their inferior steps in the technological advancement. I recall that Xenos and Kant v 00101001, the Xenos... Not now, Vidix. We've dealt with the mortals for a while now. They've proven to be a worthy threat. Now they have a separate weapon pattern? This is most concerning for our troops. That being said, Teslas are less painful than just the bigger, heavier Gauss weapons. Troops are of little concern. The mission is always priority over bio-life forms. Of course. Oh dear, these things. Cataphren battle servitor armor not thick enough. Castellans proving equally ineffective. Must find weakness before we... It appears the Xenos form triggered a fragmented recording from Reject. Aye, indeed, it appears we'll have a tough time using heavily armoured forces against this specimen. Maybe we could use their strength against them? Wise words, Dominus. So we have to escape. That is certainly one of my options. Look, let's send the medic up here. Let's send the one that's going to do the most damage down here. Okay, the medic can just move on to this. Yeah, I can grab all cognition. Let's do that. Let's grab that. No real point continuing. Let's first run to here, because you're going to run out anyway. Thought I saw an immortal. Not an immortal. Oh no, I saw the immortal down here. Look, let's do that. I thought I'd seen a death mark. If I ran into a death mark, that settles it. I have to wipe that thing out. Because the death mark will absolutely take pot shots out of my army. And tech priests tend to not do so well against pot shots from a death mark. 7. Ouch. Oh really? Oops. Kept hitting that. Oh well. No matter. Let's do that. That did something. Let's grab that. Yeah, let's use it on that and try and get rid of that console. That'll buy us a little bit of time. Now it's the enemy's turn. Oh boy. But yeah, I've kind of gone all in on Imperial agents. That being said, over the months, over several months, I was procuring all the body parts needed, both to complete a squad that I started last year thanks to free models, and also to make use of every option in the kit. So we'll see how that video comes out, because I realistically should have bought the Arbides back in June instead of the Novitiates. That being said, next month I'll probably do the Novitiates kill team. Do I want to spend a cognition point to just make it harder for this Necron to do? What the? Oh, he walked around there. Huh. Yeah, I don't need that. Let's just hit you a bit harder. That doesn't really do too much. Hey, that sends him back further. Now, let's take the Arc Scourge and light him up. That didn't take him down, that's unfortunate. Oh, that's not good. I should have gone this way. Whoops. Huh, I haven't got a useful one of those. Nice. I destroyed that, didn't I? Okay then. Let's keep pushing him back. It's like, hello, I am going to push you back. Let's light him up. Wonder if he'll take the easiest route and just go straight back. Nope, but we took him down, so that's good enough. Okay, that's going to head over and grab cognition. Oh dear. Oh well, I'll deal with him soon. The reason I'm not prioritising just escaping is because this game usually, after I reach the escape box, will tell me, okay, you need to wipe everything out. And it's like, well, thanks. You could have told me that before. So let's hit this with some arc scourgery. Now let's just remove this one as a problem and then get him back to the... Oh, I really need to fix his lack of movement. Oh well, we'll see what I can do when I upgrade him next. Let's just be really spiteful and just grab that. Okay. Let's just poke him out of existence. It really is just an aggressive poke at this point. Let's push you back up to here. What health was this thing with? 12. Okay. Do you have the capacity to push it? Does that push it back? Nope. Okay. Let's blast it. Hey, we got rid of him. Nice. Let's just push over to here. Okay. In turn and... But yeah, it is wild that GW both can't seem to keep a tight ship. Indeed, someone... And the fact that when someone sent the entire codex to Mordian Glory... that he actually just went for it and did a whole video on it. Whole live stream showing off every page. I'm actually impressed. What I'm less impressed about with this book, and if I can actually see, is the there isn't data sheets that should be in it. Like, if what he shared was the complete army list, we are missing data sheets for a lot of units that have models, simply because Games Workshop feels like it's not worth, you know, giving us the actual data sheets. And it's like, why? You sell these models, you make money off these models, give us rules for them. Trying to one-handedly zoom up an image that really is not very big. Let's just... Is there any capacity to zoom in? Hey, take me back to where I was. Yeah, I don't see it on there. It's like, at least the previous book had seemingly all the rules in it. The previous version of the Imperial Agents Codex, not so much the index. But like, where's me Rogue Trader data sheet? There's the Entourage, but I didn't see the actual data sheet for Rogue Traders. Which is a shame, because there's been 3 different versions of them, one of which comes in the Entourage. Or Entourage. I'm just going to delay him for now. You are coming over to here. And you are removing this threat. Goodbye, Necron. Hey, that actually worked. I thought I was going to have to attack him again, but nope. He just goes down. Mind you, obviously the Arc Scourge rolled well. Gotta love RNG weaponry. That's got him in the box. Now, do you have the capacity to make it just the cognition you have? Yes. Will it burn out a lot of it? Also yes. Now let's see if something if one of those tombs opens. Nope. But yeah, this codex is going to struggle with armor. There's not many anti-tank weapons in it. It's like one unit that can have up to 2 multi-melters. The Death Watch can actually have a few weapons, I think, and the Sisters of Battle can, but there's really not much. Which is gonna suck. It's like Imperial Guard will do well against them. Just deploy. It's like, here, let's deploy the Lehman Russ Punisher. Just an army of Lehman Russ Punishers will pretty much solo the entire. Pretty much just wipe them out. Yeah, I do find it strange Mechanicus wasn't included in there, because that would have, you know, given a handful of Imperial factions the ability to repair their vehicles. Like, you know, Sisters of Battle, who still don't have a vehicle healing unit. Yes, I am salty about that. It's 2024. As much as I love the Jump Pack Cannon S as the rules for it, I think the model's kind of lame. And I think that we should have been given a Elmer S or armor repair unit, so that, you know, our tanks can be repaired and actually fully operable. It's just, have we got many threats on this side of the board? 2 warriors down here, 3 enemies up here. Okay, at least we go first. So, like, I kind of would like a canonical that actually allows you to choose to go first, and then another one that lets you choose to go last. Sometimes going last is advantageous, other times going first is advantageous. Something like canonical of the swift feet or something like that. And canonical of caution. Oh boy, that indicates we've probably got trouble. What else has awoken? One over there, I think. Let's just. Oh, I dropped 2 in. Oops. That is a lot of cognition. Wait, did I? Yeah, I've got a servitor there. I didn't think I dropped a servitor in. Oops. Shouldn't that have cost me more then? That still puts him in range. Gotta love this not quite in melee range melee weapon. Now, let's just aggro them all. And that is the reason I have this. That gives him some slight resistance. I don't necessarily mean much though. Let's push in and get stuck in. Is it worth doing that? Let's grab that. That's a lot of Necrons coming up after us. Let's just run this one down here and use him as a distraction to aggro the different flayed ones so they don't go after the other tech priest. Yes, I know you're going to attack him. Well, that did probably nothing then. Hey, that warrior's coming around, I thought. Oh well. So... At least that Skitari has 1 armor. Okay. Let's just undo what that Skitari did by aggroing this one. And clang. Okay, I can't move him. And that's not going to do very much, it seems. Okay. And there's no other cognition, so let's end the turn. Hey, he's nearly gone. Nice. Oh! Haha, dodged. Nice. So... let's charge down here. Will that do much? Probably not. Yeah, I thought so. Oh boy, the horde. What's that warrior got? I don't want to waste that on this. I will waste the melee attacks on it. Actually, let's use that. And let's go bang! That flayed one is now very angry. At least that was effective. Hello, Immortal, you are going nowhere. Oh dear. Oh well, at least the Servitor's whole role is to be a distraction unit. That didn't take it out. Unfortunate. In other words, you're going nowhere. Oh, that's not good. And he's coming up. He's going to make a slow, inexplicable moan. Oh wait, no. Inexplicable isn't the term. Long, arduous march up to fight me. Because that's what happens with these Necrons. What I am going to do is reach over to here. Yeah, that worked. Hey, that worked. Nice. Let's grab all of them. That did something, I can say. Let's got him down to there. Let's just further push it down. Oh, that's gonna... next turn's going to hurt. Well, next... soon. Not actually turn, but still. Okay then. Let's push the Servitor straight down. 4 damage, that's pretty decent. So, what to say? Don't you love it when a painting method you've used for like more than a year suddenly decides it wants to not behave properly on you? Or the paint just doesn't work the way you were expecting? It too, based on past experience of it working? Yeah, I'm staring at a model that my method for leather didn't quite work the way I was intending. Well, I say model, it's a crew person, so technically it attaches to a model, but still. Let's get rid of both of these and then move this one back to the console. So it might as well destroy the console and decrease the alertness timer. It's wild how destroying computer equipment in this game reduces the alertness rather than, you know, increasing it because something suddenly went offline. I wonder if they'll change that with the second game. Now that model can't... Now that one can't do anything. Hey, he can now do something. Let's just get rid of all of them. So you don't need to deal with that. The servitor can deal with it. Hello. Goodbye. Well, that worked. Let's just see. Can I charge up there? Yes, I can. So he's up there. Let's just push you back. Okay. Okay, let's have the servitor remove that and then charge towards the enemy. I can have this go forward and continue. And we can go. Now, pardon any background noise you hear. You probably will hear it. My console that I'm playing this game on needs to go in for a service. Poor thing needs needs repairs that I haven't got the equipment or skills for. So, yeah. Live streaming from console is really easy. Live streaming from computer, not so much. Especially when my computer's front audio input and output ports are broken due to heavy physical impact of a crystal candle holder. I liked that candle holder, but I don't like that I made the mistake of leaving too much attached to it or hooked over it, and it just came down and hit the front of my computer and split in half. I think I have the parts somewhere, but yeah, it's not very useful at this point. Let's see. Hey, we did damage and removed armor. Nice. You're gone, mate. 4. 3. Oh, it was me thinking he was gone. Oh well, he will be. The tech priest next to him gets to go next. Hey there, buddy. You're not doing so well. Bonk. So, let's see what people are saying. Let's just put my computer on mute so I can actually keep up with the live chat. Sorry if the video quality suddenly disappears for a moment there. I think I have my video quality set to low on my computer. But, yeah, we'll see. Yes, I have it set to low. What are people saying? Come on, text box, open up so I can see what you're saying. For completing melee only and impossible, you want to build your tech priests to be as tanky as possible. And if you have the DLC, I would recommend the Arc Scourge. It isn't a ranged weapon. It counts as a melee weapon. Which is wild, given that you get about an extra tiles range on it. I know that transmission might have been of use, but it also might have corrupted the machine spirit. But yeah, the actually completing melee only I've done many times. I've got... Unfortunately, I was doing them, you know, offline, so the console didn't on two different platforms, so it didn't actually truly register the achievement. So yeah, what are you saying? Let's just see, because I just see we've had two more comments. Let's just drop that down to tiny window. No, it doesn't. It does not count against the achievement because it's a weapon that you unlock. The Arc Scourge is actually classed as a melee weapon by the settings itself, because it's the only way you get energy damage. You don't actually have the option for energy damage otherwise. Now let's just... Oh yeah, it's been very useful. That being said, before I ended up getting the Omnissiah edition of the game, I did actually... Why is this showing I have 4 messages but only 3? I can only see 3 of them. Like, every actual range weapon is locked off when you set the melee only difficulty setting in the start settings. So yeah, you end up with just the options. Well, you get all the melee options, but and the Arc Scourge. Funny enough, if you set the game to ranged only, you'll not have the Arc Scourge, or at least you shouldn't, because it's counted as a melee weapon game-wise. Funny enough, I seem to remember it also being counted as one on the tabletop, because it's meant as essentially it's a close-range taser on steroids. The thing punches like a freight train. Now, and yeah, also a really useful tool to get because it can give you expansion running, but it makes your tech priests invisible, or more, it makes them untargetable until they attack. Note that the attack only counts as what counts as an attack for this weapon or for this tool is your two-handed melee weapon or either of your shoulder weapons. It does not count the combat mechadendrites, which is really useful because it lets you build assassins. Essentially build an assassin. Now, when I say assassin, I'm not meaning officio assassinorum. My connection's quality of video is probably suffering right this moment because I went to, actually watch the stream. Because of course I can't see the stream comments to the side. It doesn't like to let me do that. Do I want to deploy anything? No, I don't. I might just poke this out of existence. and then just kind of move out of line of sight, just because that would be the best option. Why take damage unnecessarily? I'm not running this tech. I haven't got the Xenorites perks on this tech priest, and I, apart from maybe tier 1, probably won't. Basically, the Xenorite perk tree can be good. It can be very swingy. Like, you're essentially playing a character that will take damage and will get stronger for it, but in so doing, they have to take damage, which is not the best strategy if you haven't got much HP. And both of these tech priests are pretty low on the HP front. When you've got, say, about 20 HP on a tech priest, it's probably worth then considering the Xenorite tech tree. But at that point, you've probably got better things to do. The real benefit of the Xenorite tech tree is you essentially get a one use per deployment, well, per battle thing, use of the Necron's ability, get back up ability. You get reanimation protocol, which can be really useful. It can also be really funny. It does not, if the tech priest with reanimation protocol falls in the final boss fight and is the final unit to fall, they still count as having fallen, and you fail the mission. Which is funny, because they get back up and proceed to stare down the Necron Lord who's just taken them out. I did that in a test stream last year, and it was funny. Well, I say test stream, it was the season final for the normal difficulty, melee only. But yeah, the general advice I'd give is make things as tanky as possible. You want your tech priests to be able to take a hit, especially if you haven't got the Cogoclerus. The Cogoclerus is useful because it lets you get them into the perfect positions to do damage. Unless you're fighting the Xenorite tech priests in the expansion, because the tech is technically theirs, they know how to counter it, i.e. they will attack you. Or more, they will run straight past you and then attack you. Or they will hit you with a flamer. Now, that's something that you can do against them too. If you're fighting tech priests with Cogoclerus on, what you can do is hit them with line of sight weapons, like ones that draw a path or have a cone, such as your flamer weapons or your what's it called, or your solar atomizer and such. Just be aware with it that you can't put them as the center target of something. So things like your what's the weapon called? The grav flux or whatever it is, the torsion cannon. That's what I'm thinking. Torsion cannon can't target them because it has to start its line of sight on something. This is, of course, a problem if you want to do damage. Let's grab that, because with this tech priest being here, a thing that's worth considering in one of your top slots is either a searchlight or a shield generator. Searchlights, depending on the version of it you get, will give you, when activated, a point of energy, of armor and energy, of physical and energy shielding for a round. But they'll also make you the priority target, unless you then activate another tech priest nearby with it, because then the enemy will target that tech priest, which means you can make use of a really tough tech priest to draw fire away from a weaker one. Alternatively, you just go for the shield generator. That's a pretty good trick too. Another piece of war gear that you'll see me on this tech priest with is a device that lets you essentially make the tech priest harder to hit. up to the point of becoming, I believe, actually untargetable for a round. Funny enough, the Xenorite Tech Priests make great use of that equipment, which is really annoying when you're fighting them. I might just put you here, because I'm going to push you up soon. Okay, do I want to deploy anything else with him? I think he's good. At this low level, I'm pretty sure my tech priest up here can survive. Let's see if I can get that servitor right into melee range. Yes, I can. That will be a useful distraction for that. Or at least do some damage first. Oh well, I'll remove that flayed one in a moment. The time has come. Oh, come on, what's the full quote? The time has come. Do what must be done. Do not hesitate, and show no mercy. Execute order. Execute. Electri 6. Let's see. Now, what's about to happen when I come through, when I get up to one of the two tiles up here, is a Necron is going to, we're going to trip the, there we go, security, suspect activity detected. That triggers Necrons to spawn out of there, and then we run down and deal with the Necrons, because it's not worth leaving them out, it's not worth just leaving them. We can take out a point of energy armor. You've got, with the DLC, and you've got 3 tiers of melee weapon, but you may not necessarily unlock them all. Your basic axes are pretty good. They hit pretty hard. They in fact hit the hardest out of all of them. And they deal a pretty... and they also, when the Omnisire or Power of the Machine Spirit state is activated, i.e. they've been used enough times, they'll strip armor, which is really useful against tougher enemies. Again, except really stupidly tough enemies like bosses. One of the bosses has this hilarious gimmick where he ends up with like 40 armor. You can't actually damage him through that properly. He's designed to not be damageable until you shut down his shield generators. The funny part is, if you fight him in the final boss fight and you take out the shield generators, he just collapses. Now I'm keeping that tech priest there to act as essentially a battery or generator, so that we can have cognition to do things with. Is it worth deploying? Let's just be malicious. You are not going to attack this turn. Yep, that can work. Ouch, that looks like it hurt. Let's just push the servitor up there anyway. Oh, I thought I had something else here. Oh well. That's going to do some damage. 1 damage. But more importantly, it will keep him occupied for a while. So I'm going to do that. Because reducing the number of enemies you have to deal with is a good thing. While all Necrons can be a threat, they are especially a threat in great numbers. What you want to try and do is what I've done here, where I had one that's blocked off so he can't shoot. And I've got this other one which I just took out before it could do much. That's what you want to do. It's also worth leaving a servitor in front of... when you see the tomb doors like this, leave a servitor in front of it. It won't be able to open. That's going to do some solid damage. 11. I knew it was going to do solid damage. I didn't expect it to actually remove him. But yeah, your Omnispecs device can be really useful. I want to just grab that. So I'm going to just push you towards that. Because then I can get the other tech priest up here and we can meet the objectives. But yeah, you've got your 3 versions of the melee weapon with the DLC in. The first one, which is your default axe class, is pretty solid. It does cost cognition to use. Your second type, which is unlockable in the base game, is these style, which are free attack. They aren't as tough, so they don't do quite as much damage, but they will immobilize target when machine spirit is active, though not always. Anything with a grav unit like your destroyers, just ignore it. Let's just push up a bit. Let's not waste cognition on that. I want to send him back. So I'm just going to have this servitor make sure this thing doesn't wake up. What I said before about doors, I'm going to put him there, just as a deterrent. I don't think I've ever had that door open, but I wouldn't count on that in the long term. What I will count on is as soon as I get up here, probably about by about here, both of these will open. I think this middle green line there was the trigger for it, in fact. Now, which version of the mission are we? There are 2 ways that this type of scenario goes out. One of them is it just lets you leave. The other one is you're expected to wipe out the Necrons. I'm fine with either. Also, it is worth destroying the enemy consoles because it reduces the amount of resources they have available to them. And on the subject of the Omnispecs, let's just use that on him to make it even harder. There's also one of the upgrade pieces that you can get gives a 50% dodge chance. Is it 50% or is it 25%? One of the two, but with that combined with the Omnispecs, it actually makes you really hard to target for the enemy. But not impossible. Funny enough, that was probably not worth the effort. Your energy, your armors and shields don't work quite the way that they seem like they might on the surface. They will tank a certain percentage of the incoming damage, usually up to their number, and excess damage above that will just work, will just go through. What I would suggest is if for a melee only run, you want to upgrade at least a few tech priests into the Explorator discipline, because that will actually benefit. Arc Scourges do not count as ranged weapons, which means they do not trip. The ending condition for the final tier of that. So let's just hit this thing with more of that. So let's do more damage. Which means you end up doing more damage when you get the tech priest up to the final tier. Just make sure he doesn't get back up again. As much as that song is nice, I don't want it to kick in. You can see that. Jeez, that thing's taking a pounding. Okay, that did 5 damage. Good. He has no cognition left. Good thing most of his stuff doesn't need it. Yay, we've pushed it back to 3. That's better than it being further on, but it's still 3. I'll grab the cognition from there. Let's just hit him with that. That didn't do much. Did something though. That'll do something too. Didn't take his shields off. His physical damage shielding off though. That's unfortunate. But yeah. The third type of axe is your xenorite axes, which do acid damage. I believe there may be some other effect with them, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. They're a weaker version of your basic tier axe in terms of damage, but that's made up for by the acid damage, which does damage over time. Let's grab that. Yay, we got rid of that one. Arc Scourge for the win. That's what I'm using. So I just want to remove that reduced movement debuff. The reduced movement debuff can be a bit awkward. Sometimes it doesn't untrigger. Like sometimes it doesn't. The condition doesn't clear after a couple of turns. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you can clear it with that ability off the Tech Priest tree, the cleansing ointments, but you can't always. Sometimes it won't register it. Charge. Let's leave that one there. Well, the time has come. Let's get rid of... Let's do... Oh, that hit hard. Well, there's no point, because this is the last battle in this deployment, so... Why save cognition when you're not going to be able to use it? Oh boy, this took an hour already? Wow. Jovian Ministration 6190. When the heretic is silenced, it is as if his weapons and tools are stripped from him. He is left impotent and weak. I can appreciate the benefit to the Skitari of removing this moral threat. I can feel the emotions they do. Relief, joy, even. I take solace from them before I compartmentalize them. The journey towards inefficiency is halted. Mechanical Borealis 615. Inefficiency is a slope whereupon one slides ever downwards by degrees until one reaches near their unknowing. A fate we must avoid if we are to fulfill our missions over Tenebris. Yes, I do silly voices. Hopefully they translate as well through the microphone as they do through my ears. They probably don't. The microphone on my headset isn't very powerful, but it's a headset that I could afford, so it's what I'm using. Hopefully there hasn't been horrible sound in this video. So that's got us the Cogoclerus. No new chemicals? Good. So, let's just upgrade you further. A good tech tree to upgrade. It's always worth taking 1 point in your tech auxilium just to unlock the cognition freedom. That reduces the cost of attack of weapons by 2 points. Which can, as you can see with the Arc Scourge, it fires once and then on the following turn it's in its machine spirit state, which ends up meaning it's free to attack with, which is really useful. Let's just... I got the... Yep, +2 to max HP. I'd like max movement as well, but well. Let's do that. He can't take any more HP. He can take that though, which is useful. Now it's worth actually sacrificing that and giving him that so that he can heal, because he is a healer after all. And if I have a different one, so yeah, you've got 3 different main types of weapon plus bonus weapons. Your 2 main bonus weapons that you get with the DLC that work for melee is your Arc Scourge and your Sufferer's Shattering Axe. Now the Sufferer's Shattering Axe is a bonus weapon that is unlocked at the very start, as is the Arc Scourge. If you are playing on a non-melee only settings, you'll get some other weapons as well. There was some bonus stuff that was put in, including a, what's it called? Xenorite Macro Stub, which if I remember correctly does acid damage, which is neat. The Sufferer's Shattering Axe does also do acid damage over time. Its real problem is that it costs 2 cognition to attack with, so I don't usually put it on anyone because it's not really worth using all that much. When I talk about building tanky, what I'm meaning is you want to make sure that at least one of your stats has a +2, and if possible at minimum +1 for your shielding, so you want to have both types of shielding. If you expect a tech priest to take more of a certain type of damage, go for shielding that matches that type. And in the, well, as an alternative to doing damage reductions, one thing you can actually do is focus on damage output. So you've got, instead of putting a shield generator in, you can put in a power field. Now, if you go with the Explorator discipline, the next perk that I'm about to unlock is Blessed Generator, which reduces the cost of your power field generators for your weapons, which boost their damage. The tier 1 one essentially becomes free with just as a base. The same thing applies with the Dominus pathline, where your energy enhancers become 1 less cognition to use. At the same time, I do actually advocate getting a couple of points into the Dominus discipline just on one of your tech priests, so you can get the attack protocol servo skull. It's good for dealing damage at range. Each one of these disciplines has their strengths. Your Traveller discipline, get the Explorator discipline when you reach the Traveller end of it. If you've got no ranged weapons equipped, and reminder, the Arc Scourge is counted as a melee weapon, you get +1 to physical damage, +3 to movement, +1 to physical and energy armor, and a +15% critical chance. Now, if you combine that with something like your Xenorite disciplines, where is it? You've got Corrupting Technology, which will remove your health every time you attack, which isn't great normally, but it interacts with the following. You gain +5% critical damage for critical chance for every HP missing, and when you've got a decent amount of HP, you do pretty well. You've got an ability to restore some health, and then you've got the Ultimum Resistor, which basically revives your Tech Priest from death at 10 HP. That's pretty useful and pretty funny. But I wouldn't build a whole cohort around that discipline. It is too likely to hurt you in the long run. But having a single Tech Priest who's hardly going to attack, or who you're going to heal a lot, is going to do you some useful things. Your Tech Auxilium discipline is good for... At the end of it, you end up with your free Mechanical, which is pretty useful. It also gives you discount on your shield generators. Your Secator discipline is your troop support, which at the end tier lets you summon in troops. When you unlock Castellans in the game, if you manage to find them in your playthrough, because rewards are randomized, this is what you use to deploy them. You don't use your normal start of round deployment, because they cost 5 cognition. And that's 5 cognition you could use for shooting a heavier weapon, or for doing more damage in melee. You want to make use of your Secutor discipline to actually do that, to just drop them in, because this ability, it doesn't just drop them in your deployment zone, as it says on screen. You drop them anywhere on the map. This means in a boss fight you can drop it right in front of the boss, and Castellans hit hard and take a lot of punishment. Now, let's do the next mission. Consolidation. What was this? Subdomina Kepra has requested aid in taking the pressure off her Skitari troops. Collapsing key areas of the Tomb of Ecropus will hinder enemy movement and stop them from overwhelming the Skitari. Hey, let's do that. Okay, I have not enough cognition to deploy Skitari. Let's just swap that for that, because even if that's excess, it's still useful. Okay, you do not relish this. You do not relish this mission, Subdomina Capra. I ascertain from your pupil dilation and nervous system stress levels. Even in victory, the men and women on the ground suffer, but that is not something I imagine troubles Amagos. Some tech priests choose to exercise their emotional centers of their brain, especially when they reach the rank of Magos. I did not. I have fought under plenty of Magi who had no emotion at the loss of men and women in combat. I am glad to know that I am not doing that again. I am capable of quarantining emotions in my neural vaults and choosing to experience them if they are beneficial. I am not ruled by them, but I am not ignorant of them either. That is why casualty rates on my missions are under my command, us 11.7% below the average. I take that as a good omen. Subdomina Kepra, how goes your attempts to establish a foothold on Selva Tenebris with our main forces? Operating in the Tomb of Ecropus is Operations in the Tomb of Ecropus are continuing, Magos. But the enemy are pressing our perimeter hard. It is impossible to explore the tomb if all my troops are tied up, keeping themselves from being overrun. I see. The enemy is aware of our presence. It seems like it. They are not just attacking at random. The Necrons are exerting pressure at key points, hoping we will falter. Logic demands a response. Ignoring this predicament invites defeat. Your solution? With your help, Magos, collapse the tomb on them first. Let's just drop the ceiling on the enemy. Why not? Oh boy, the console is not happy. That is the sound of the console screaming. I have plotted 4 locations in the Tomb of Ecropus. If they are made impassable with demolition charges, the Necrons won't have run of their own tomb anymore. My cohort will see this done. Once the key positions are blocked, the Necrons will be funneled into our crossfire. They will spend a lot of their lives testing our defences. I am not certain the Necrons can accurately be said to have lives. Certainly not after biotransference. Well, whatever they have, they're going to lose a lot of them. Indeed. So, what's our map? Our key objective is down here. Our back paths are over here. I want to do this as short as possible so I'm not taking up terribly long amounts of time for this video. For this deployment, because I want to get to building that tech priest on stream. Let's do that. It's just a case of randomly choosing almost until, well, once you've chosen enough of an option, the same option, it will either glow red or green depending on whether it's a bad or good option to choose. Note, red is considered bad because Necrons are green. It's a weird logic, but it makes sense in theory. Rather than, you know, pressing the big red button. The chamber ahead is partially collapsed with dangerously sagging ceiling and appears highly dangerous. Avoid with haste. Blow up some steam. Let's take down the ceiling. We're here to do property damage. Hey, we get cognition. Sure, it alerts the Necrons, but we get cognition. Row. Chastisement of the menials on the Celestis Metallicon will follow. Failure of maintenance observations inexcusable. The detonator of this charge appears to be a dud. Some menial must have neglected to perform the required anti-corrosion rites. Detonate it with gunfire. Let's do that. Ouch. I'm not sure quite what gunfire we'd be using. We don't have ranged weapons, but let's push up to here. Several Necron skulls are carved into the walls of this chamber, all arranged looking at a central pedestal holding up a globe. No Xenotech for us, thank you. I'd rather not steal anything right this moment because it'll probably hurt, but it hurts anyway. Let's go. Let's go in and handle the threat that is obviously pinning down some Skitari. Hey, the game calms down a bit. It's wild how, you know, it screams much more in the menu, in like your tactical display, than it does actually when deployed. Oh boy, at least we get to go first. Survive 4 rounds. I can do that. Can probably do better than 4 rounds. You go there. I want you to go here. Okay. Do that. Let's hit all 3 squads. Hey, we almost cleared them. Nice. Let's actually clear them. Well, yes, I am happy to stomp scarabs. Necron scarabs are a problem because they will heal the Necrons around them all and themselves when on deployment, when on the dispatch pads there. Now, I'm just going to grab from the other one of these and hit you with that. Grab that, because I'm bringing you down here to grab, well, maybe not cognition per se, but cognition would be an idea. I want to grab from that first. even if I have to come back to damage it. But sometimes, a lot of the times these consoles won't have shielding, sometimes they do. And that shielding makes a mockery of ranged attack, of attacking them with anything lightweight. Let's just push to there. Let's see what deploys next. The middle platform with 2 enemies on it. That's fine. Let's remove this threat. So that's got rid of them. Let's just push this one in on the enemy. It's going to anger him, but he was always going to be angered anyway. Because this also shuts down the Necron Warrior, because he can't fight, can't move anywhere to fire. Downside of this strategy is you are aggroing one or the other. Did we manage to destroy that? No, we did not. That's going to do some damage. Let's do some more. Let's just push this one back to there and start the next round. At least that Necron Warrior can't go anywhere. Problem is, now more Necrons appear. So earlier in the day I put out a video on just reviewing the sculpts for the two of the Imperial Agents characters that have gone on pre-order today, that came out of 2 of the boxed games, or should I say 1 of the boxed games and then a successor that used its sculpts. So if a video on the Navigator and the Ministorum Priest with book and mace is of interest to people, you can find that video on the channel, and I'll link it at the end of this one after the stream has ended. I'll put it in the end screen, because the stream will let me have an end screen once I've finished the video. Can I reach that? I can, but it doesn't mean much. Let's just do that. Oh, because I can't do that because it isn't up yet. There is one that comes up from down there, and I can see right here the power generators stand there. Okay. Can we please get rid of this thing already? Can it just fall? Oh. That won't do anything. Cognition. know what, let's just go back and take that. Let's push up, because this tech press isn't very useful down there. Okay, we end the round, end his go, and do damage to him. Ouch. Okay, so should be my turn in a moment, and that shows up. Now, is that going to expect us to fight them, or are we going to just leave? Kill all enemies, okay. Yeah, none of my tech priests have power word kill, so I'm just going to have to do power axe kill instead. Let's hit this one first, because he has more damage space. Apparently the other one has 1 HP left, so I'll deal with him then. Let's get rid of that. Let's just get rid of that. It should be noted your little mechadendrites can't crit, so you won't be causing normal enemies to fade out. Some non-normal enemies, on the other hand, you can cause to fade out. But that's because they'll fade out to anything that takes off their last wound. Now, I should be aware of. Yes, that one is what I should be aware of. Hello, Deathmark. Please cease to exist. Dang it. Now he's going to teleport. What? That's dumb. Funny, but dumb. Because he teleported right within range of the Arc Scourge. Okay, let's just boink you. Let's just do that. The pathfinding in this game can be real dodgy. I just wanted to put him where I could have him get cognition and still be in melee range, so that he can attack him when the enemy goes to walk away. Now, where are you going to go to next? Why? That's funny. He's just aiming in the wrong direction to be useful. Also, your damage over time, while I think of it, your damage over time abilities like your like the burning from flamers and acid damage do not affect enemies who are down, which is a shame because it would be really useful. How much was that? 1 HP on this guy? How about no HP? You are the weakest link. Goodbye. I still love that they did a Doctor Who crossover. Mind you, they'd had the host of the show voice a robot in the show, so a voice of weakest link female presenter voice one of the robot versions of her in the show, so they opened the show with that and then or special with that, and then proceeded to have her unplug it, which was funny. Just as for my thoughts on New Doctor Who, I haven't watched enough of it. It being on Disney Plus, I don't feel as much like watching it, because Disney Plus doesn't feel like a Doctor Who home. ABC Television does, but well, ABC iView requires me to log in, and I already have accounts on so many other things that it feels excessive to have to. Will that do it? Yes, that does it. Okay. Servants of the Omnissiah will now... Oh, no. Servants of the Omnissiah will live now. Who would otherwise die? Magos, my thanks for sending your tech priests to the aid of my troops. We will profit nothing on this world if our troops on the ground cannot keep the tombs open until we can ascertain the threat they contain. It is simple logic, Subdomina. Maybe, but nevertheless I thank you. Thank you. Few Skitari have much reason to expect a Magos to come to their aid so directly. We are used to being disposable. My emotional cores return dismay and anger whenever a Skitari is described as disposable. No one is disposable as long as they do the Omnissiah's work, thus it is written. Or, to quote Star Wars The Clone Wars, Master Plo Koon, what makes you think that anyone is looking for us? We're just clones. We're meant to be expendable, Plo Koon. Not to me. I fucking love Plo Koon. Mind you, by contrast, I despise Kiadi Mundi, and I could not care that suddenly he's supposed to be around 100 or more years before he was born in Legends. Such a meaningless change, and people are upset over it. Lightsabers not killing the people that they stab is far more meaningful. Looking at you, Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Okay. Ignores all armor, that's useful. Oh, we don't get more. Okay. So, let's upgrade this tech priest into an assassin. So, first one we want to do is that. Next we want to do is... Do I want damage? I want damage resistance. I'm trying to remember, one of these has the thing I could use. But yeah, +1 physical damage, no. It's always worth considering armor. Even if you're going to swap the armor out later, it's always worth considering armor. Let's put that in. And let's go pokey poke. Now this tech priest's whole role is just to sneak around the battlefield jabbing things. Now, save the ocular topographus. Gain the tier 2 melee weapon. Fight a boss that we are not ready for. And deal with heretics. Hey, Skitari Vanguard. Let's do that. So, damage sustained during warp travel. Transit force the Celestis Metallic and vent much of its fuel reserves. Quartermaster Rowe suggests acquiring a supply of isotopic material from the tomb of Arca to use as fuel on the Celestis Metallican. Let's launch that mission. What is that one's armament? Let's just deploy that. That is a good cohort style. It's usually a good idea to have someone at range, and your Skitari rangers are really good for the abilities they have. Particularly the reveal enemy statistics when dealing damage. Even if it actually doesn't wound the enemy, it still reveals their stats. So, stable orbit achieved and maintained. My thanks, Quartermaster. I would remain in geosynchronous orbit for the duration of this mission. Fuel reserves calculated. Continuous orbit probable but not certain. Additional fuel acquisition recommended. Attention required. Troublesome news, Magos. The tanks are nearly empty. Supplies are low. Far from sufficient. Problematic in the extreme. How can our supplies be low? We just arrived here, Quartermaster. Warp transit less than satisfactory. New reports state cargo supplies vented into the void as a result of damage. Most unacceptable. Then what is our situation, Quartermaster? Deploying armed forces on a hostile world is costly exercise, logistically complex. Running costs for the Celestis Metallicon in orbit far from negligible. Crisis in isotopic fuel matter for the core reactors. Disappointment and frustration are flooding my neural vaults and require quarantining. I focus on a solution. Can you present one? The tomb of Arklek contains strong traces of radioactive decay. Supplies of necessary materials present. Request acquisition before materials half-life is expired. It's been there for how many thousands of years? If not millions? How long ago did the Necrons go to sleep? Whoa! Console is screaming. The tomb of Arklek isn't particularly welcoming, Magos. Are you certain it's worth the risk to go in? Our mission cannot be fulfilled if the Celestis Metallicon has insufficient fuel to stay in orbit. Very well. I hope the Quartermaster understands what missions like this cost. Cost of deployment, far less valuable. Cost of deployment less than value of resources acquired. Mission mathematically justified. Well, when you put it like that. Yes, let's do the mission now. Where have we got? Huh. Neat. Let's do that. But yeah, looking at the Arbides, looking at the Imperial Agents Combat Patrol, or should I say the Arbides with extras Combat Patrol, 20 Arbides plus an Inquisitorial routine, Pious Vaughn, and an Eversor Assassin. It has no armor in that. There is no tank in that unit, or no heavy damage spongy unit, but there is a lot of guns. Not a lot of high strength ones though. There's a heavy bolter on the servitor. I would have put a multi-melter, just so as to give something high damage, high strength, where everything else is not going to necessarily be particularly strong. Highest strength weapon in that unit looks to be a plasma pistol. Let's move you up here. Let's move you to there. Now, the real benefit of the Stealth Priest is actually not in combat. They'll do some damage on their way, but their real benefit is just to sneak around and grab resources. Like just sticking them up next to the battery up the top there. Now, I'm going to just charge you down here. Let's just actually grab that. Now, a good way to upgrade a stealth support unit is as a Lex mechanic because it gives them cognition. Because it lets them take cognition and even generate it. Actually, let's just go poke. Now... Huh, that's the one right there. Okay. Dang, that one's tough. Hey, he dodged. Nice. Yeah, it's wild that that combat patrol is $280. Ouch. That's a lot of Australian dollary does. I mean, I get it. The models in the set are worth more than $300 when you look at it, because it's got the two of the Arbide squads which are over $100, the Inquisitorial agents that are $94, Pius Vaughn and the Assassin, who are both over $50 each. That is probably close to $400 worth of models, but that's an absurd amount of money for models in the first place, and I don't actually believe it's a true $400 worth. What I feel it more is just GW making up sums because they can, not because that's what something actually costs. Why yes, I will be salty. It is my prerogative as a hobbyist to express my emotions when I feel like it, and also it's worth noting that people who've worked for Games Workshop have said that they've been told by their trainers that the boxes are worth more than the models. As to if that's true, I don't know. But it sounds it. And I mean, that being said, that is, I'm pretty sure North isn't joshing us on that. Okay then, let's just bring you up. How much HP has this warrior got? 1. How lovely. Let's just remove it as a problem, shall we? I'm first going to just push it back. And push it back to go with the tech priest. It's like, no, you are not leaving. You will be damaged next turn. My real concern with next turn is that thing. That, out of everything here, that's the biggest threat. Because it deals acid damage. Okay. You're just going to keep heading down because there's nothing up there that you can target. Oh, we got away from some damage, didn't we? Didn't see those two down there. Yeah, I might just stick the servitor there. Let's have you do no damage. Well, you're going to come up and be a problem. Hey! Oh. The poor servitor. Oh well. Let's deal with that. I'll happily remove that one, thank you. I mean, I need to heal have this tech priest heal themselves, but it's also worth just doing that. One thing it's worth doing if you go down the Cogoclerus route is actually having a tech priest who is a support priest. Like, they're not equipped for combat, they're not going to be doing huge amounts of damage, but what they are going to be doing is providing buffs to the rest of the cohort. This tech priest can't do that. Ouch. There goes the servitor. Let's just deal with both of them. Let's just poke you out of being a problem. And let's charge down here. Get 10 damage right off the bat. Well, he's not going to walk away from this. Partly because he's not going to be able to. Let's just activate that, because that'll give you energy armor. That'll give you better armor. It's not worth doing attacks. An alternative weapon, the alternative mechadendrite option for the for that scouting priest is a pair of the cognition mechadendrites, the ones that give you cognition points when you use them on enemies. Be gone. Oh. How many did you walk over too far to also affect the thingo? Now that's going to get over to be within range. Ouch. Hey, at least I absorbed the damage. Unfortunately I took acid. Hit. Otherwise, if the tech priest took the other version of acid, they'd be tripping balls right now. Okay, I'm just going to bring you there. Mind you, tech priests do sometimes seem like they're tripping. Let's do some serious damage. There we go. Let's just get rid of you because you're a nuisance. And push to here. But yeah, with a support priest like this, it's not worth giving them a melee weapon right off the bat, because a melee weapon will cause them to trigger attacks of will cause them to carry out attacks of opportunity if an enemy moves past them. Hey, we got rid of that one. Let's just push back to there. Now that one's weak to physical to energy damage, so let's just charge my other Arc Scourge and see if I can remove it a bit. Or fully. Okay. Let's push over to this so that I can at least get a point of cognition out of this whole arrangement. Yeah, not worth moving you. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Cognition and cognition. But yeah, if people want me to do a video on actually getting into the hobby on the cheap, I'm happy to do it. That being said, there are different versions of on the cheap. Actually, let's just move you there because I'm going to need that soon. Let's find out the other one's stats, shall we? Okay, that one's weak against energy. One's weak against physical, one weak against energy. Let's charge you right up the field. Hello there. Be gone. 12. Let's just full on remove him. Shame that didn't hit harder, but oh well. Charge. For the Emperor. For the Omnissiah. Let's just strip some armor off you. 5. Let's pokety poke poke poke. I really should have dealt with this character's acid damage. Oh well, he restores health at the end of each turn and loses health at the end of each turn. Or is it the start? No, it's the start. Hey, we've just cleared the victory condition for this engagement. But yeah, I've got some plans for Imperial Agents content, most particularly relating around Arbides, because I've got a whole lot of them, and more coming soon. But also because I've got stuff that I can turn into Arbide support stuff. I want to do an Arbides Rhino. That would be really cool. Hey! I just guessed, I didn't even read. But yeah, we've got the tier 2 melee damage Mechadendrite. Nice. Let's just go back to there. The quickest way down to the other engagement zone is this way. Or maybe not. Certainly seemed like it. Erratic and illogical radiation readings are throwing off the cohort's ability to target the isotope. Attempt to fix the rad sensor. They find a tiny... the thing was being fouled by a tiny little... I don't know. Cohort sensors are not the source of the problem, but a local source of radiation. They locate a cache of isotopic materials, but not the mother load. Oh well. Of course, what I'm saying and what is actually on the screen is very different, but the gist is the same. A series of metallic archways of tarnished and brutalist appearance line the passageway ahead. They appear to have some function, but what purpose they serve in the Tomb of Arclair is not apparent. Shows first. Yeah, always worth inspecting strange things. The Necrons like to put shields and energy projectors inside their architecture, especially in this case. The first archway proves to be a form of energy projector. The tech priests ascertain it can be overloaded with a simple bypass ritual. This tech rite causes the device's circuits to burn out and leave the tunnel of the archway harmless, and demonstrating the supremacy of Omnissiah's sacred logic over the base cunning of the alien. Nice. gotta love the Mechanicus finding ways to integrate xenophobia into things. But yeah, it is interesting that only one of the Arbide squad options is battle line. Kind of a shame. I would have liked to have had the melee version of them also be troops. Ah well, these things happen. So, who goes first? I don't care. We're just going to move them at our own pace, and the enemy will move towards us as they will. Oh no, that would have been useful. Let's push into here. Oh, that's not good. Mind you, there's a lot of them at the moment that we can deal with. Actually, let's not deal with them at all. Let's just, well, let's deal with them of course, but let's take this thing on first. Yeah, I thought that might do it. Let's run straight over. Let's just bring that up here. Jeez, there's a lot of Necron warriors here. I think I've annoyed someone. We've got that not doing very much. Hey, at least I get maybe a turn, maybe to do something. Let's have the scout run up a bit. Okay, let's have you do some damage. Not doing very much damage though, but enough that it isn't too much of a problem. Okay. That tech brace is in trouble. There is too many Necrons around them. Hey, at least they dodged. The way these Necrons are swarming, one might think we aren't welcome. Yes, I will quote Star Wars Republic Commando every so often. Four to 6. Yeah, let's grab cognition. It's always worth just double checking what you're actually targeting with that, because sometimes the auto target will go for something else than what you're aiming. The amount of times I've grabbed stats off an enemy instead of, you know, actually damaging them. Let's just further hit you and keep going. At least we have someone who can grab cognition. Oh boy, I've been going for 2 hours. Oh dear. How long has my laptop got left? Current usage level 1 hour. Cool. Let's put that there. Nice. Come on, Servitor, take it out. Yes! You're just going to drain that and come over and attack the Servitor. Or not. I was expecting the Servitor to be under attack. You're gone. Let's just hit you with that. Now I don't know what that other angry bug over there does, but I just want to push you back. Let's charge down here and unload that onto you. No guarantee it will actually do what I want it to, but oh well. That servitor's in trouble. Ah, there's an idea. Let's just delay. So we desire not to sacrifice everyone. Hey, more cognition. The other benefit to having servitor on the battlefield is cognition generation. It taking damage means it acts as a generator. But it is weird. There's like a whole code. The Imperial Agents Codex feels kind of weird because essentially it's Codex kill teams rather than straight up, you know, Codex for the non-army main armies faction of the Imperium. Be gone. You're a nuisance. Not worth using that thing, it won't do anything. I want to just poke this thing. No, wrong one, dang it. Poke that. Thank you. What have we got the ability to scan at this juncture? Not an awful lot. Oh well, let's leave that till next turn. There are plenty of computer terminals. I can reduce the amount of alertness by a fair bit. It is worth noting that ranged Skitari don't count against it, which is good because it lets me use them. Okay then, let's just push up to here. Let's grab that. Okay then. Hey, we got rid of him, nice. Let me guess, that one? Because I keep forgetting which ones go next. Let's find out how tough you are. Okay, tough. That's going to be a problem. I'm just going to put this Skitari here to shield you. Let's just keep poking this. Okay, that is now sufficiently poked. I'm sorry, I've run out of things to say. Yeah, there is the prospect of running about 90 up to 90 arbides in an Imperial Agents list. 60 of which will be your is it subjugated? No, they're the melee ones. Vigilator squads. 3 squads of which will be your subjugators, which are the Riot Shield and Maul squad, and then and then the rest are exaction squads. So you do have the potential for some board control, but not against tanks. The army is kind of lame against armour. Could have pushed him back. Hey, we got rid of that one. Nice. After this turn, I'll have him actually investigate that thing and then break it. And the Necron's like, why are you doing, where are you? And then targets this one instead. Now, where's my melee priest? Let's just bring you over to here. 7 is the number to beat on that. Okay. That's going to bring 1 out. No matter. That can be dealt with. That's just 6. Okay, I would have liked a bit more, but I'll take 6 above nothing. Okay, then let's charge into here. Bang. That takes out some of the armor. That takes off some of the energy armor. Let's push you further back. Let's just charge into you and hit you with this. Dang, I'd hoped it might have actually removed him. Ah well. Let's just do that, because that'll make you a bit more tanky. And let's just... what am I hitting next? So much for the idea of painting the Melkador on a separate stream tonight. Bonk. I'm gonna just move back to here. Let's just push all the way down to the bottom. Let's take the shot. There's about to be another Necron deploying. The final Necron deploys. That's fine. Oh, okay. I thought we'd actually have to fight them. That saves some trouble. And that is mission complete. The cohort locates the cache of ingots forged from rare isotope by some unknown Necron method. They are able to take this rare bounty back to tomb entrance for processing into fuel for the Celestis Metallicon. You have your supplies. Is the fuel situation improved? The fuel is good. The rest, not so good. I anticipate further requests for action for maintaining mission optimal supply levels. Undoubtedly. No army survives without supplies. Supplies not in the habit of walking into our hold. Then I am sure I will hear from you again soon, Quartermaster. Okay then, let's see what the total of that was and then end the stream. I hadn't intended to go for like 2 hours, but here we are. I just wanted to put that assassin through their paces as it's more of a, well, not so much an assassin as a scout. We've got a better axe for the medic. Hey, nice. Let's just upgrade you a little bit. Actually, let's just upgrade the Explorator. Did you have space? Yes, you did. Let's take the better one. There we go. Actually, let's just fleet of foot. Let's just do that. Let's just take the other ones. Okay, then. Let's actually just check. That's dodge chance, that's the double stats one. Let's go for that. Do that. What do I want to do next for it? I've got that in. I've got can make you slightly more resistant to physical damage. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. If I'm running you as a support priest, let's give you that so I can reveal the enemy's stats. Anyway, I've been going for 2 hours now. Thank you guys for watching. I hadn't intended this stream to go for so long, but here we are. Anyway, as I said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and maybe even found this informative for your own run. Anyway, catch you around. Bye.